side who've gone through many changes. We're not just talking about players, we're talking about managers, we're talking about presidents, board of directors, the lot. So it's almost a new club here, barring, of course, the old stadium. Rain coming down in Zaragoza. As the players get to know each other, we'll talk, I'm sure, as the game goes on about all the changes, Robbie. What does it mean to the players when you've got a new coach, you've got a new president, new board of directors?
Well, obviously the new coach is the main thing the players are bothered about. To be honest with you, you never really take much notice of who's the top man or the board of directors. It's all about the coach and what he's going to do differently.
Well, Jose K is in charge, the 44-year-old, replaced coach just in December, part of the reshuffle here. 3 changes from the sides that were thrashed by Real Madrid by 6-0.
Yeah, they've got a problem at centre-half. I think Partido is actually a right full-back going to play as a central defender. Pavon, is injured at centre-half, so that's where their problems lie. But I think going forward, Lafita, Jermaine Pennant, Arizmendi, when really they can cause damage. And they haven't been too bad at home, Zaragoza. They've only conceded 8 goals. It's away from home, Dave, where they've been absolutely terrible.
It's Iturralde Gonzalez who's in charge, our 42-year-old dentist from the Basque region. Obviously a very experienced man at this sort of level. 1995 when he stepped up to Spain's top flight and has been there ever since, sporting the international badge of FIFA. What about the changes to the Deportivo side? Their last outing was a 0-0 draw at home against Valencia. Just the one change. Sergio has dropped out. And Juan Dominguez comes in.
Yeah, it's a big game for Dominguez. I think that's a surprise. Maybe Sergio's got some kind of knock, but he's only on the bench. But up front again is where they have their problems. Adrian really is the only striker that's 100% fit. They've got Ricky on the bench who's coming back from injury, but they're missing Bodipo and Mister as well, strikers. So they've got problems up front, but this is pretty much the team as we expected.
I'm sure they would expect to get something from this game, but again, you've got to go out and you've got to do it. It's all well and good thinking about the upsets and the changes that this side they're playing are facing. However, maybe a renewed purpose about the team as we have a moment here of respect. The best observed ones I've noticed in Spain. It's all about action when we get ourselves underway. Jermaine Pennant just looking to try and slip the ball through towards the right-hand side. And they can control. It really is a test for the new Zaragoza side. Eduardo Andres, the president, resigned over the Christmas period. With him went his board of directors. So it's fresh blood throughout this team, this club.
Well, they want something fresh, Dave. They want an injection of something. They've lost the last 4 games. They're in a horrendous position in the league table right now. This is a fairly big club, you know. They spent a lot of money in the summer on new players and have really underperformed in the first half of the season.
Hit by injuries, as you mentioned. Uche, of course, hoping to be back by the end of this month. Knee ligament problem for him. Pablo Amo's out. Luchin's out. Bravdovic is missing. Pavon also. LaGuardia. That's all through injuries, and some big names not in this side also for whatever reason. Ayala missing. Everton missing.
Yeah, these two had a falling out with a new coach. I don't think really is much of a future for them, Dave. I think Hay had said that the 2 players, their minds weren't in the right place to contribute to the football club, so he's stamped his mark on the club straight away.
It's something that's needed. Adrian wins the throw-in. It'll be interesting to see in the first 20 minutes how this team reacts to all the changes.
Well, there's always a certain amount of pressure when you're doing so badly. And listening just or reading a couple of the quotes from the Deportivo players yesterday, they're talking about the importance of the first goal, Dave, and I can totally understand where they're coming from. If you score here early against them, surely it's got to be a real problem for their confidence, Zaragoza, to come back at you. So I'm sure Deportivo want to keep it quiet and tight in the first 20 minutes and try and get a goal.
Ponzio's little touch. Surely he's been tugged back. Yes, he is.
It's Antonio Thomas it is, who's just pulling the shirt there in that midfield area. Lots of players in there. Three-man midfield, I think, for Zaragoza tonight. Aguilar looks to get forward, Ander and Ponzio.
Maybe they sniff goals. An opportunity. Decent little turn by Ander. Looking to see what options are open. It was the through ball looking for Arizmendi, but far too much on it.
Yeah, Arizmendi is the lone striker really in this 4-3-3. Lafitte on the left-hand side of him, Jermaine Pennant, who we know all about, obviously ex-Liverpool player.
Here's the new man, Jose Hay. Stepped up from the B team to take charge of the A team. Already trying to make his mark. He's sorting out one or two problems with the senior players. Fita. Little turn. Flick of the ball forward. It's a good run too. Maybe an early opportunity, claiming a corner.
Oh, it's great work there. Aguilar applauds Arizmendi for his persistence, determination to bundle through the middle here. Gets a little bit fortunate, strikes his arm, but he's okay. But Aguilar just can't get the strike away. It's a good covering challenge in the end.
This one's going to curl in towards the keeper. Didn't get that. Well met by Valeron. Still open, still there to be won. Nice little flick and a touch. Well, Lafita didn't have the finish.
He just couldn't sort his feet out quick enough. Bouncing around there, it's always difficult to get the ball down and strike. And too many defenders around.
Here's Dominguez. Lopo. Brings in Felipe Luis, the Brazilian. Like many Brazilians, does like to get up and down a bit. But Diogo, the Uruguayan, put paid to any hopes Depor had of making it down the left-hand side on that occasion.
And just for Deportivo players to watch, Dave, on the left-hand side, Andres Guardado. Very good player, Mexican, small, left-footed. And obviously Valeron, a hugely experienced attacking midfield player that plays just in behind Adrian. And good players going forward.
Boot just a little high on Javier Paredes in the challenge. And Rodriguez to be a little bit dangerous with the challenge. A little bit of space. Another shot coming in from distance, though wide of the mark. But the marking not as tight, I'm sure, as Latina would want in midfield.
Oh, what's happened there? Lafita's come in from the left-hand side, Dave. He's got in between the defenders and the midfield players. We see that all the time in modern football. It's got to be intelligent to find those spaces, but he did it very well that time.
Played forward goal, and he's going to get there first. Brings in Carrizo. Goalkeeper, one of the three changes from that 6-0 drubbing by Real Madrid. Clearance completed by Alberto Lopo. Here is Guardado, the Mexican you mentioned. He flicks it outside. He was looking to try and release Adrian, but it wasn't going to be. Goni came across and made sure.
Well, it is so far. It's very tight. It's good tempo about the game. It's lots of tackles flying in, as you'd expect. Plenty of passion, plenty of determination. That's what you want.
Ander sticks out a foot. It was a pretty important foot as well. Just forced Deportivo back a little. They have to start again. Here's Pablo. It'll be a throw into Deport. It's showing signs of starting to push forward.
Yeah, I think they probably look to try and control things here. They've had a great first half of the season, Deport. In a good position in the league right now. Not too many injuries to worry about, only obviously those strikers, but they'll be playing with some real confidence at the moment. Only lost 2 games in the last 12, are in good form.
It's a free kick that's been given for the challenge on Juan Rodriguez.
He's reaching in there, isn't it? Aguilar. Not a great defensive player, very much all about going forward. He's got 4 goals already from midfield.
I think Antonio Thomas was trying to claim the ball had crossed the line. It had already gone out before he made the challenge. Wasn't going to get away with that one. It's an interesting position, this free kick for Deport. It's going to be the right foot that'll curl it away. Delivered right in towards the penalty spot, but relatively comfortable. It was Aguilar who got the head on it. Deport in no hurry to turn this back round into attack again. Maurizio, on from Lazio. As we have a look at their home side's record.
They've not been so bad at home. When you look at their overall, I think they've conceded something like 35 goals, which really is just too much. So many more than all the other teams in the league. Got to make sure they do better away from home.
There's a possibility of a break here. No, there isn't. I did go up for offside very briefly. But when you look at the recent record between these two here, it is Zaragoza hands down who've got the better record between the two, as you'd expect with the home side, of course. 14 victories in the last 29, just 9 wins for Deportivo in that time.
It's been a difficult couple of years, hasn't it? Relegation from this league, then promotion again, back into the top flight for this season, and now again struggling to maintain their position.
Overall, things pretty level between the two. They met 52 times. This is the 53rd game. 18 wins for Zaragoza, 21 for Depor overall. It's the home side are doing the pushing just for now. That was until Carlotta launched the ball to halfway. Paredes with a head. Thomas bringing a little bit of coolness into midfield.
Very congested, though, isn't it? The midfield area is so congested. Valeron's coming back in there with Dominguez and Antonio Thomas for Deport against the 3 that I already mentioned for Zaragoza. Not much space in there.
Valeron, did he go down cheaply here, or was he caught? Certainly stood on the foot, and they're catching him. The big men have gone forward. Lotto's up there, Lopo as well, the centre halves. He's just going to be lifted towards the penalty spot again. Attempted shot block. Now the little chip, that's cheeky. It was worth the effort. Maurizio off his line and Colotto spotted it.
Oh, what a good effort. It may have been offside, but real creativity there from the centre half. Colotto, good technique, not too far away. Just take a look there, the ball, that's the one that goes through, and it's fractionally offside, I suppose. Very close.
Well, fraction counts in this game. If you've got an eagle-eyed assistant referee on the far side. There's Deportivo's recent record. 6 in the table coming into this game. With a shout, of course, of levelling things with Sevilla. Chance for the home side from the set piece this time. They've had to face a couple themselves, but Jermaine Pennant with the opportunity with the right foot to launch an attack, or more accurately, launch the ball into the cluster of players which he doesn't manage. Here's Ander, the former youth player. 20-year-old's going to get it back. A bit of give and go, a little bit more space for the cross now. Diogo. And whistle's gone against the Uruguayan.
There's a fullback, right fullback. Diogo loves to get forward, always bombing down the right-hand side. This time he just comes inside a little bit. He's going for the ball.
Just looking at yesterday's results, of course, Barcelona 1-1 at home with Villarreal was a bit of a shock, but Atletico beating Sevilla by 2-1. Will the Depor side, take note of that and think it is an opportunity for them?
Absolutely, yeah, why not? Look at those results going into today's game. They're playing the second bottom team that are struggling massively for confidence. They must fancy their chances.
Lopo with a header. Not the cleanest. Here's Ander. Looks like it means a bit of business, the youngster. Pennant just trying to control the ball. He's running away from goal, though. Does well with a cross. Not the tidiest of challenges, it has to be said, inside the area. Still down. A bit of time, that's all that was needed. So play can go on. It's a little bit more sensible. Hold the ball, don't kick it out.
Yeah, Mendy, one of their own players. They don't really want to kick it out of play and give it temporarily back to the opposition. He's okay.
Paredes comes inside. Did have Aguilar, but didn't fancy it. Wanted to go back out again. Ponzio. Switch it near side to Diogo. Mendy gives and goes. Doesn't get the return pass. His opposite number, Colotto, is the man who intercepted. It's all slow and patient again. Congestion in midfield seems to have sorted itself out for the moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think both teams are allowing both defenders this type of possession. There's no problems here. Zaragoza will have a very defined shape. You can see it very much in the picture there, the front three players. Mendy being the front player. Lafita going to close the ball down. A little bit of space here.
Mistake made in front of Miguel Ortina. Pacing up and down the 52-year-old. Talk about replacements. He replaced Joaquin Caparros in 2007. Having your side in 6th place with a possibility of climbing higher. Not done half a bad job, has he?
No, last season I think they finished 7th position in the league. And certainly on target to maybe go a little bit better this season. Doing a good job there. They've got problems themselves as well, Deportivo. They haven't been paying the players. They've got financial problems.
Tug on the jersey by Javier Paredes. Ronaldo Gonzalez right on top of it. Youngster trying to clear. Paredes trying to swap shirts early.
Well, I was just reading yesterday that the players are not expecting their full salaries over the next 2 or 3 months, which isn't good, is it?
Sounds bit like Portsmouth in England.
Yep.
And that must have an effect on you, Robbie, as a player.
Well,
do you worry about paying your bills, or do you earn that much money that it doesn't matter?
I wish I did. In all fairness, whatever happens off the pitch, when you cross that white line, Dave, I think everything else goes out the window. You just concentrate on playing well for yourself, for the team, and winning.
Well, concentration's on defending for the moment. Guardado falls backwards. A little bit of space, though, for Felipe Luis to get the cross in. The whistle gone early. I think it was a little bit of afters, just on the edge of the penalty area.
It's a little scrappy at the moment. Plenty of tackles flying around, and in Spain, you know, much contact, and the referee normally blows his whistle. It's a little bit stop-start. Here again, a situation where both teams are dropping off the play. Defenders are allowed possession. Of course, there isn't much space to play through.
Well, Diego Colotto, the Argentinian's not happy with the challenge.
Yeah, not sure he has to react on it. I think Aguilar's got every reason to go for the ball. It wasn't always going to be a foregone conclusion it was going to go over the line. It's got every right to challenge for it.
And Iturralde Gonzalez taking the sensible approach.
Nothing wrong with that for me. As a player, you want to keep the ball in play. It's a bit of a desperate lunge, but Colotto reacts with a push.
His point was there was no need, and Aguilar's point was there was every need, and the referee just said be sensible.
Yeah. In games like this, Dave, when it's very much set up, it's very patient, the build-up. Often makes a difference if somebody gives the ball away, or there's a mistake, or there's a quick turnover in midfield. All of a sudden, the game will become stretched. At the moment, when it's safe possession, both teams are in their defensive positions. It's very, very tight, and there's no real chances to score goals.
Well, it wasn't for the possibility of the handball that it was given. It was actually a late challenge on Lopez. He cleared the ball prior to that. Jermaine Pennant stuck the foot up. Lafita just leaves the ball and continues his run forward. Makes himself available. Ponzi up, a little run. Tried to unleash the shot, but there was not enough strength in it. Here is Pennant. He's overrun it. Good defending.
I haven't seen too much of him as yet, Jermaine Pennant. Hasn't really received it in a wider area where he can really have a go at Felipe Luis, the Brazilian left fullback. Been closely marked so far.
Nil-nil it is between Zaragoza and Deportivo here on ESPN. 20 minutes into it. Roberto Iglesias, the new man in charge here at Zaragoza. The new president's thinking about what he's seeing.
Well, I think in the situation they're in right now, Dave, I think anything is okay. They don't concede a goal. It's a decent side, Deportivo, on a good run of form. Sometimes you've got to grind out results a little bit just to get some points on the board. Second bottom now, Real Zaragoza, level with Malaga. So a win might see them, could possibly see them outside the bottom three.
Not the tidiest of challenges from behind by Javier Paredes. And I think the referee's gesture to him is, look, why on earth did you do it? I'd rather have that than yellow card slashed around.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Comes a long way there, doesn't he, Paredes, out of his position.
Make no mistake about it, Iturralde Gonzalez is well versed in pulling out cards, but I like the way he takes charge of games. He basically throws the responsibility back onto the shoulders of the players and said, you know, you want to play, I'm happy to let you do that. Diogo. The two fullbacks facing each other, trying their best to push respective teams forward, but both failing. Here is Felipe Luis. His attempted ball down the left for Depor was put out for this throw-in. Doesn't seem to be any sign of a cutting edge from either side at the moment up front.
Well, it's just difficult. It's difficult. We saw the ball played in that time to Arismendi, and yet Lopo can get so tight on him. It's very hard to gain possession of the ball. Again, you see you can throw a blanket over about 4 or 5 players there any time in the midfield area. And nobody wants to give away that really important area.
Taken on the chest by the Brazilian. A lot of Real Madrid links here. I mean, he's on loan from Real Madrid. Diogo, who he faces, fullback against fullback, used to be with Real Madrid. There he is.
I think the question for the fans here with Zaragoza is, obviously it's a real strong start, trying to build a foundation. Can they now start to be a little bit more expansive, make a few more runs from midfield, because everybody's fairly static in their positions, not too much movement when they go forward.
I'm assuming from Depor's perspective, they'll be quite happy with the opening 24 minutes.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's why you're seeing a very cagey game. I think Depor, when you're away from home, wherever it is, you're happy if you can go the first 15-20 minutes without conceding.
Well, this looks better. Guardado with a chance to cross. Well, the whistle's gone for an earlier challenge. It was a late challenge that came in just as the ball was delivered out to Guardado. It was when the foul came.
Valor on there, right in the thick of things. Haven't seen too much of him. Very talented player. Again, I think because the midfield area is so tight, he hasn't been able to get on the ball. Just see this late challenge here. He plays the ball there, Dave. Is he offside?
He is. And to be technical about it, you give the first offence. Now,
so
the ball was played and he was offside before the challenge came in. However, you're talking about split seconds there, and the referee sees the challenge and he thinks that's more of a threat to his match control if he doesn't give the free kick than give an offside, so that's why he's given it. All to do with keeping hold of the players. This one's whipped in. Certainly a chance. Pull back. Lopo! Oh, he's put it a foot or two over the crossbar.
Well, we talked about mistakes. The set piece is the other thing, obviously, in a tight game that's always important. Just never looked like they were comfortable here at all, and it probably falls to the wrong player, the central defender, Lopo. That is a great chance. It's nicely put on a plate for him. It's rolling very slowly, has to hit the target.
I was going to hesitate to say it was a central defender's shot, but I'll let you say it.
It absolutely was. I mean, what is he there? 12 yards out from goal. Gently rolled to him, nobody around him. Has to hit the target, has to make the goalkeeper work at least.
Oh, Jose Hey, the Zaragoza coach, helping out the referee, pointing the direction of the throw. There's Diogo, cost 8.3 million from Real Madrid. $8.3 million peanuts when you compare that with what Real have been spending in the past 12 months or so.
Oh yeah, well I think everybody's spending is peanuts compared to what they've been doing. Is it going to pay off though, Dave? They're very close to Barcelona. I saw the Barcelona game yesterday. They weren't at their best against Villarreal. Villarreal did a very, very good job, I have to say. It leaves it open today. Later, Real Madrid will play and can go top on goal difference if they win. It's very interesting in Spain.
Osasuna on the travels. Diogo's header. There's a certain amount of work coming from the Zaragoza players. still in possession. Now Mendy finds Pennant. The efforts over the last 20 seconds raised the crowd a little.
Not a great ball from Pennant to Diogo. Didn't give him much opportunity to do anything with it.
Tina. Just on the edge of his technical area, but not barking out anything. He's just assessing what's happening out there. He's watching his side come forward. Guardado got the ball stuck between his feet. And was fortunate to get a second opportunity to play the ball outside. Paredes now. And up. Aguilar. You can almost hear the frustration in the voice of the crowd.
Yeah, just when you look at the way they're playing at the moment, it just seems very hard to get support to Mendy and very hard to get him the ball in the first place. So many players in midfield, Aguilar, Ponzio, like to be on the ball and play things, but they need some runners. Lafita needs to get more involved, maybe Jermaine Pennant make a few runs from outside on the right here into the middle or in behind the defenders of Deport.
Diego with the throw as we look towards the 30-minute mark here on ESPN. No breakthrough yet. The breakthroughs have known to have come very late. Just go back 24 hours, the Valencia-Espanyol game. Valencia winning that by a goal to nil, the goal coming on 93 minutes. Diego not messing around. Ponzio with the ball on the outside of the boot. We're trying to be a little too clever. Manuel Pablo's back there to marshal it out, despite the best attempts from Lafita. Zubia with the clearance. Maybe something now. Maybe not. Pennant's been forced very, very wide. Can't keep it in play.
Well, it's a shame because Lafita played the ball across, just overhit it a little bit. It's nice to see him involved and trying to get Pennant involved as well.
Pennant provides the block. Former England under 21 international, of course. 52 appearances for Liverpool in the Premier League. Past the half-hour stage and still no signs of a breakthrough. He's really threatened now, the keeper. Here's Lopo with the chance he had for the visitors and put it over the crossbar. A little bit of space on the right-hand side. Here's Manuel Pablo. Goni clears the danger. Paredes too with a head. Referee not interested. Pennant was caught. Certainly caught in possession, that was for sure. Guardado. What can the Mexican provide? Yeah, not the best of crosses. Pablo back to Carlotta. And Lopo.
They're going to play it out. Pennant's still down, isn't he? He's holding his ribs, it looks like. Trying to rub his chest or his ribs. on his left-hand side. Let's see how he gets caught here. There was a little contact there. I did think it was a free kick. I agree with the referee. He just gets caught on the ball. Guardado had come back and cleanly won the ball from him.
That's where he's indicating, to the ribs. Players would never try and make more of a situation, would you, just to prove the referee wrong?
Certainly not an English player, Dave.
Okay. Not something you used to do?
No.
Okay.
So he's in a little bit of trouble here. It didn't look a big challenge, did it? Almost looked shoulder to shoulder. Jorge Lopez warming up, another right-sided midfield player that could come in for Pennant if he can't continue. And Marco Babic as well as on the bench, more of a left-sided player but a wide midfield player. Got a couple of options.
Well, Jose Gay. And a good half an hour or so to have a look at his team at home. The one moment of concern really for him, and that's when Lopo had the chance. And Pennant's back in. There is the central defender, who will not want to push forward quickly. He's finishing like he showed earlier.
Just see the ball flicked on now by Juan Rodriguez, the right-hand side midfield player for Deportivo, seen very little of it.
Them strongly into the Mexican. He's a tricky little customer, isn't he?
Oh, he is. I like him. Very, very good feet. Very energetic, enthusiastic about his game. He's got good vision as well. I think if Diogo, I think you want to do that. If you're the fullback, get nice and tight. Know it's going to be a very physical game for him.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah,
Diogo.
just to try and let him know that he's around, and it's not going to be an easy night for him.
He knew he couldn't get the ball. Guardado has taken the free kick. It's high and it's close to Carrizo. Keeper doesn't have a problem. The problem with his distribution, though. Zubia. Big little high. You don't often get away with feet that high, do you?
No, it's too high there. Adrian again, it's found it difficult to get involved in the game. And Valderon this time trying to press a little bit higher up.
Aguilar. Looking for options forward, there were not many there. He's had to go backwards to Ander. There's Paredes, the fullback, who's in an advanced position. And if Mendy plays it outside, now Lafita with a chance. He dinks it onto the edge of the 6-yard box. Aaron Zubia is strong.
There's a decent ball into the middle, but it's a little too close to Aaron Zubia. It's high as well, he's got time to move his feet, get underneath the ball, take the catch.
And the referee happy to apply the advantage and let Zaragoza come forward. Feet are outside, facing Pablo. And the free kick's been given. Oh, now a little bit more pushing. A couple of players going nose to nose. It's Manuel Pablo who's not too happy with Aguilar. He still wants a piece of him.
Handbags at dawn, Dave, is what we used to say. A few little pushes, no need to get too carried away with this. There's a few late challenges, yes, but I think as a player, I've got to just try and control those emotions. I know it's not always difficult. I certainly lost my temper on a few occasions, but nothing really was untoward there, Dave, for Manuel Pablo to start pushing people around.
Simple case of yellow card each. Let's have a look, see what Aguilar done. I didn't actually see what he'd done. And Rodriguez is getting involved as well.
He was on that side. I think he bundled in with a second challenge, wasn't it? I think. Certainly Manuel Pablo and Juan Rodriguez on that right-hand side were getting physical.
I would have thought that Manuel Pablo. You see, there's the first challenge.
I mean, there's not much in it. That's
there's
a nasty
second one.
Yeah, that's a nasty one from Aguilar.
Well, it was the two challenges that have been penalised. Manuel Pablo has been spared the yellow card for his protests. A little bit of a slip by Diogo. Will it prove costly? Guardado is able to play the ball inside. Rodriguez seems a little bit more purpose about this attack, which resulted in the corner.
There's a little bit of space all of a sudden. Guardado this time we've got the ball inside, and Adrian had pulled to the right-hand side. Space is at a premium. It's going to continue, is it, with these two?
Looks like it is. I'm sure the referee's got him in good view. It would be foolish to continue it, to be perfectly honest. Both sitting on the yellow card now. Here is Pablo. He's moved central while the central defenders have gone forward for the corner. Felipe Luis. Adrian Courts. The referee says no.
Difficult job for Adrian. A youngster, only 21 years of age. Got a few young players in the team today, Deport. It's a mixture of youth and experience. People like Valeron, been around a lot. Juan Domingos is playing, and Guardado on the left-hand side is very young too.
I think he was unlucky there. I think he did get caught. Now the man who's just picked up the yellow card, Manuel Aguilar, who again is hearing a few words from the referee. I think it's the arm that's been raised in the challenge. Ander. Trying to find Pennant. And Pulido can just take his time.
I didn't need to do that, Carlotto. For me, a little bit of time now to bring the ball down and pick out a teammate.
Feet are closing down, as well as Arif-Mendy. And the work's paid off because Zaragoza have picked up a throw-in deep inside Depot territory. 4 minutes remain. Adrian to Guardado. Mexican just lifts the ball on the right-hand side. Nobody close enough to capitalise for Depot. Challenged by Paredes, another ex-Real Madrid player. It's amazing the influence the big two in Spain have throughout the rest of the league. The players that they release, maybe they consider at a young age not quite up to the Real Madrid or Barcelona standard, and then they filter through.
Well, I suppose that's what happens, isn't it? When you're one of the big teams, you're going to get the pick of the best youngsters, and then you're not all going to come through and make it. You release them into the other teams in Spain. Some of them progress to high level, some don't.
Just a bit like the influence Oxford had on you. progressed to the highest levels with Middlesbrough.
Yeah, see, I was never good enough to get into those big academies at that time. My little local professional team was absolutely perfect for me. I got in the first team straight away nearly, and I made my name, and my development came that way. It's a shame now they're actually outside the Football League. They're doing very well in the conference, the league below the full-time Football League, so I hope they're going to get back into the relative big time of the second division.
I like the thought of you keeping an eye on Oxford. Well done.
Well, particularly when they went out of the league. I mean, that's very sad. When you think about the way you developed myself and what happened to me, and my career obviously was Oxford United had a lot to thank for them for picking me up and putting me in the team.
A little push by Paredes, no, says the referee. Just seemed to ease Rodriguez out of the way for the challenge. Here is Rodriguez. Dominguez certainly hasn't seemed phased at all. Here he is again on the ball and pushing forward. He touched too many. With a clash of knees as well on the edge of the area. Pennant. Stinks it inside, looking for Arithmendi.
Just in the last minute there, maybe he's just seeing a reason why we haven't had too many chances. Overrun by Juan Dominguez. And then a bad, kind of a loose, hopeful ball by Jermaine Pennant, and possession is give away again. See somebody that shows a little bit of quality, Dave. Do something special. Open up the defence from either team.
Free kick goes the way of Diogo. Into the final minute then of the 45 here on ESPN. Still awaiting the opening goal. Will it come here? Lopo had to use the chest. It was all that was available to the central defender. Diogo again to Pennant. Ando changes the direction of the ball.
Just a little bit too far ahead of Aguilar, who keeps coming in from the left-hand side, making a few runs now. It's a good ball, isn't it, from the youngster? And just a little overhit, but all of a sudden the last couple of minutes a little bit brighter. And Pennant with a good ball into Arithmendi just a few moments before.
A single minute will be added. We've expected much more, to be honest. We have a chance for one last push from whichever side fancies it the most.
Again, look at it, so tight in there. Give us some width, some good quick passing, and try and break through defenders.
Paredes has come out of his full-back position. And Valeron, the Spanish international, coming from the offside position.
Yeah.
That's the end of the first 45. 0-0 it is in Zaragoza. The team with the new man in charge of the team, the new man in charge of the club, fighting for all they're worth, but unable to break down what's been a pretty stern Deportivo backline. And we're going to get a change in the second 45. We'll find out very soon. Highlights, of course, of this first half to come right here on ESPN. Both coaches maybe have a little bit of work to do. Jose Gay, the new man in charge of Zaragoza, getting his chance to talk to his team. 0-0 it is. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Still looking a little congested in midfield. No changes at half-time. So it's as you were. As the captain, Ponzio, tries to fire it forward. He's on the throw-in. Here's Diogo. He's an Italian passport, Diogo. Very much a Uruguayan international.
Get it out from that side, bring it across this side. There's more space, less players.
Paredes. Pulido. Deciding to try and do things himself. It's a good ball, well taken by Lafita. He's trying to get around Pablo. He's done well. Ball into the box though, couldn't find a white shirt. And Paredes, who just hangs it up in the air. Yes. Antonio Thomas. Can have a look to see what options are open for him. Spain is being spared the snow that's affecting England at the moment. It's a little warmer. Lopo just takes the safe option of putting the ball into touch. Lafita back to Paredes. Well, for trying to be a little tidier in possession. If the shot finally comes in, it's well wide, but the build-up play appreciated by the home fans.
Well, I think it's appreciated for this young boy. He's 20 years of age, Ander. He's really the central midfield player. He's pretty good on the ball. A rare opportunity to go forward there and take a strike at goal, but he's done a good job, Ander.
It's his second season as a professional. His 11th appearance of this season.
Got to get him more involved for me, Lafita. Just in there in the last few minutes ago, he's got the ability to take on Manuel Pablo, the fullback, get around the outside, get behind him.
Confirmation of the scoreline if he needed it. 0-0 it is. Well, Pablo happy just to push the ball out for the throw. Pablo got to the ball, but was handed off. What Jose Hay has been saying to his players at half-time.
Well, I think he's, again, like we said earlier, he's fairly happy. 0-0. His team are in a disastrous run of results right now. He's trying to build a foundation. I think we can see that from the system. It's a little bit different to the one that Marcelo played.
Guardado, he's running forward. He had the ball just taken away from him. Good defending by Pulido with the last gasp challenge.
The ball, all of a sudden, he finds himself in a nice little area, goes in between or around the outside of defenders, and it's a good job. Pulido just got back and made a challenge right at the end. A bit more defending to be done by the home side. Antonio Thomas going to swing this one away from Carrizo in goal. Danger not over yet. Rodriguez dinking it in towards the back post. This could be useful. Lopo. And again, it's the central defender with the opportunity and couldn't make the clean sort of contact he needed. Oh, great play to get round the outside. Haven't seen that too many times. Not easy, I have to say. Well, at least he makes the goalkeeper work this time, Dave. Not a great shot, though.
Another warning for the home side. Goalless it remains. Points will be useful for either side here, to be fair. 1-1 it is between Sporting and Malaga. Gregory on the stroke of half-time, bringing the home side level. Let's continue their warm-ups.
Last gets more involved in the game. Rodriguez, good ball, stood up to the back post. It really was. Carrizo does well to hold on to it.
He's nicked away by Guardado. Mexican working well. Felipe Luis now moves forward, the full back. Back to Guardado. Still nobody out there who wants to step up and be the hero, Robbie.
I'm just looking at it and not seeing too many runs from players that are going in behind defenders. Everything's kind of feet, everything's to feet, tightly marked from behind. I haven't seen many real runs over the top or in behind defenders. Penetrative football, I haven't seen much of that. The two teams are playing fairly good high lines on both sides, so maybe there isn't a lot of space in the midfield to try and find a way through. There's got to be space somewhere, and if it's high lines, it'll be over the top. And the key is, though, to try and get into position, into areas that you can slide the balls through. This is a good area. He wants some runners in front of him now.
Paredes happy to run forward when he can. Aguilar, a little bit of space outside. Oh, Pennant can't get to it.
Well, it's the right thing to do, isn't it? We talked about runners in behind, and he had one there in Jermaine Pennant, but again, the final ball isn't a good one. It's a fairly simple one, this, you know. Should always hit your man there. He doesn't need to be in front of him. He's got good space, just hit it into his feet.
And Miguel Lortina. He said in the first half he'll be relatively pleased. I'm sure that's still the case. But one thought in the back of his mind I'm certain of is that he'll be looking at this thinking they can win this game, and they should.
I think so. I think when you look at it, it's been fairly even, hasn't it? Certainly in terms of territory, in terms of possession. Just get a feeling that Deportivo might have a little bit more about them in those advanced areas. Lafita, Pennant, Arithmendi maybe. That's what's going to take, a little bit of quality from somebody.
Goni just leaves it for Diogo. Carrizo can switch sides. Well, he's with the flicked header. Lafita's done well to keep it in play. A bit of a run. Being a little lively in the second half, maybe. Ponzio. The captain leading by example, wanting to have a go himself, but was well wide of the mark.
A good play again, Lafita. Good composure. Simple ball for Ponzio, and why not take a shot from there? He's only just over 20 yards out from goal.
Goalless. Romereda. Ponzio again. This time feeding it through for Pennant to run on. Pennant's behind the defence. Certainly a chance. Lafita! Oh, he didn't catch it cleanly.
It certainly was. Again, Pennant getting around the outside, pulling the ball back. He's done that a couple of times now. He's going to go down as if he gets caught by the goalkeeper, but he's got to do better. You're right, he didn't get hold of the ball. It's a great chance. It's on a volley. He's going with his laces for power. Could have he opened his body up a little bit and just tried to side foot it past the on-rushing Ranzubia. Good chance.
Appeals for handball. Not given. It'll just be the throw-in. The whistle goes this time against Arif Mendy. Just having a look at Manuel Pablo, making sure there's no blood coming out. He took a whack. There it is, there's the arm. I didn't see too many big blows to the face. Dominguez just lays it outside. He stuck out a boot to stop it. Carrizo's down smartly to save.
Here's the fullback making that run forward. Not a bad effort. Felipe Luis, the Brazilian left back for Deportivo.
Now Pennant. He just seemed to delay the pass, but he's done well, Jermaine Pennant, looking to finish. Oh, across the face of goal rather than in it. I think the less said about Paredes, he shot the better.
Just when you thought Jermaine Pennant had just overrun this ball, he just bundles his way through, and this then is a great chance. Does everything right, just chips it over the onrushing goalkeeper. It's gone wide though, and I think it does well to keep the ball in play. This is it's a wild strike over the top. Continuing to advance their play now though.
Jorge Lopez is in. Just wondering if it was Pennant's last touch. We'll bring you confirmation of that very shortly. Chance at the opposite end. There's Guardado, who just stuck out the foot, tried the toe poke, couldn't get the direction on the ball.
Well, as we hope for now, the game's just opened up a little bit, hasn't it? A few more players are attacking and playing higher up the park. Guardado's an example there of being right through that long ball. There's Pennant, he's still on. I think it's the captain. It's gone off.
Ponzio.
I think so. You can see Jorge Lopez playing as one of those three centre midfield players on the left-hand side and there in the middle. Ponzio.
No, he's still there, the captain. Ponzio's still there. Ruby Aguilar, who's gone off. And here's Paredes. Here's Aguilar, just to bring you confirmation of who's been withdrawn. It was quiet in the second half. And had a bit of a control issue in the first.
Jorge Lopez, the substitute, can play in any of the wider positions really. He's on the left-hand side of the three at the moment for Zaragoza. Maybe a bit more of a goal threat, scored a couple of goals from midfield.
Hooked away by Pulido. Paredes tries to complete the clearance, but not successful. Lafita now. Just possessed by Pablo. Rodriguez. Route towards goal was blocked. get the feeling, despite the improvement that we've seen with Zaragoza in the second half, that Deportivo do have a little bit more.
I think when you see Guardado running forward, Adrian's had a couple of half chances. I've got to see more on this right-hand side of Juan Rodriguez to really confirm that with me, Dave. I think I see Pennant going forward, Lafita getting more involved. It really is very even. I'll tell you what is for sure, though, the first goal in this game is going to be very, very important. I'm not sure we're going to see too many goals.
Goals have come in the past. The tail of this one is normally draws. Draws are plenty. Very difficult to separate them. Going back over the last 5 years, there's never been more than a single goal in a game. Over the 8 games they've played previously, 5 of them resulted in a draw. Never once have we had a 0-0. Here's Pennant. He's looking to stretch the legs a little on the right-hand side. Gareth Mendy. Trying to just slip the ball inside to Lafita, who'd made up ground.
He totally rushed it, Dave, didn't he? Great chance, he's in on the box, nobody around him. He could have dribbled it towards goal, he could have got his head up, taken another touch, just really did rush it.
Pennant trying to do too much. It was a big challenge by Ponzio, and it was punished.
Here comes that challenge from Ponzio. Slid in, I think he got the ball though.
So?
Oh, we're not going to go there.
Just thought I'd brighten your day up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he touched his legs though. He slid in and won the ball. So
there was no contact on the player then?
No, but there's maybe a question mark whether it was reckless or not.
Oh, I love these little conversations that we have when it comes to refereeing matters. I know you don't.
I'll tell you what I do like. I do like it when it's physical, though. I like these games.
Yeah, that's how you used to play.
Yeah, it's just part of the game. I like to see plenty of aggression.
A little bit more. Free kick to the home side.
He just stuck his leg out there, didn't he, the youngster Juan Dominguez, playing in the centre of midfield for Sergio. Doing okay. Holding role alongside Antonio Thomas.
Just his second ever appearance, and he's not seemed to have been phased. I know he's not had a pivotal role to play in this game. Nobody has, but he certainly hasn't been phased. He's enjoyed holding the ball when it's been there.
He's done okay. He stayed behind the ball. He's made no runs forward. He's kept it very simple in possession. He's been involved defensively, as they all have in there.
Here's Rodriguez. Extra again. And the ball played into the area. Well done, Juan Carrizo, the goalkeeper. He had to come out into a cluster of players and be strong.
Well, that's what happens on their left-hand side, Deport. Felipe Luis comes forward as a left-back when Guardado runs inside. It gives him space. Not a bad ball into the middle, as you said. Good goalkeeping. Real battle, won't he? Big striker.
Both getting hold of each other, actually. There's a single goal for Zaragoza by Ayala on 94 minutes. That separated these two teams last season. That game desperate to. And there's a 0-0. As Juan Valleron is replaced and Ricky 28-year-old attacking player comes in, another former Real Madrid player.
It represents somewhat of a gamble. He's been struggling with a groin injury, Ricky. Very nearly ready was the report before this game, so he started on the bench, and now he's got some action. Striker, so it'll be a 4-4-2 now for Deportivo.
A little bit overcooked, to say the least. Thought that counts. Feeder just offering a little bit of applause for the attempt. Has the option of going back to Coruña. That's who he took in the end. Advantage applied to the home side. Ando for Diogo. Skipping past Guardado. And Uruguayan playing it back to Ando. Paredes has made a run. A little bit of space for the cross. Decided to have a run himself. A card coming out for the Czech. Isn't the body check, not the nationality.
Well, it's a substitute, wasn't it, Ricky? He was trying to get down the line, brought down Partido. The full-back who's had to play as a central defender. He's done okay. He hurt his face there. Bunding into Ricky, here he goes. He just got the elbow, didn't he? The left elbow of Ricky. Just catches the defender on the side of the head near the temple.
Partido will be fine. Rough and tough centre half. Oh, chance for the home side to push again. Lafita. Clever with the feet. First strike comes back to Lafita. It's taken a deflection to go behind for the corner. Lafita and Lopez linking up nicely.
What they've done in the second half, Zaragoza, they've certainly got more of the ball to the two wide players of those three attackers. Pennant and Lafita, in particular on this left-hand side, has looked very dangerous. There's a signal coming in. And the ball above his head. He gets a near post or maybe a longer one. And here's a short corner.
I think they need to practice on the training ground a little bit more.
And maybe the ball above the head, and Deportivo knew what was coming.
Well, it was off the ball, and it's going to be a yellow card. And the disappointing thing, as far as Zaragoza is concerned, is that Jermaine Pennant was away with the ball and in space. There he is, and then look at Lopez, completely off the ball. What's the point?
It's like an American football block, wasn't it?
Yeah. Pennant was frustrated, kicked the ball away. He couldn't see what was going on behind him, though. He didn't realise. Ando. He's been full of busy in the centre.
Yeah, very good. Manoeuvred the ball very well there, Dave. Protected it, got his body in the way, trying to keep the ball simple, realising that he's in a high-risk situation in that position. If he gives it away, then they're going to be at his back four. They're doing a good job.
He's trying the little flick back. Didn't quite happen. The crowd getting themselves involved now. They're just sensing maybe something can come from the home team. 20 minutes to do it in. Goni's going to be caught out. Oh, the whistles come to his rescue. That's clear.
I was going to say actions speak louder than words, but must have a little pull on the shirt because I thought he was away here. Adrian was away.
The card. It's been brought out. Youngster against youngster.
Yeah, it was, and what a lovely touch from Ander. We got a replay of it. Beautiful first touch, just to take it around that man. There it is. What a lovely change of direction. Excellent first touch. He's away. And gets brought down. It's the right decision.
19-year-old fouling the 20-year-old. Look at the two of them. I must say, I've been very impressed with Ander. In the centre of midfield. One for the future, certainly for Zaragoza. He's now back the 10 yards. So Ponzio fancies it. There's three standing over the ball.
So he's going to just move it to the side.
Here is Ponzio, straight into the wall. Follow-up shot. Diogo straight into the hands of Aranzubia. Yellow card. Shown to Lafita.
Does he really need to have a yellow card there, Dave? I know he's obstructing or impeding the goalkeeper, but
what's he doing there?
He didn't necessarily charge into him. He just stood his ground.
What's he doing there, though? Come on. You can't block the keeper when he's kicking. You haven't been able to do that for 6 years when you've been clearing it out of your hands. Yeah, stick a yellow card under his nose. Well, Adrian comes out and Alvarez comes in. That's the third change and final one for Miguel Lotina.
Pablo Alvarez comes into the game. A right-sided player, really. To see where he's going to start playing. Juan Rodriguez obviously was playing on the right-hand side. One of them might move into a kind of a withdrawn striker position. Looks like it is going to be Pablo Alvarez in there. There he goes to pressure the ball.
There's Mendy. Trying to get it past Pablo. Did the ball take a touch before crossing the line? The answer is yes.
It's been a difficult night for Mendy. I don't think he's played particularly well. He's missed a couple of chances. He rushed that opportunity out earlier on. Maybe he's going to come good.
He's got a chance to come good now. Oh, the ball's bouncing around. Just pushed away. Aranzubia, a judge not to have pushed it behind. They've kept it in play.
Fizzed into the near post. Nobody gets ahead on it. It just comes up off Polido. It is the player who gets ahead on the ball.
Well, there has been some wasteful play here. Scrappy play, it has to be said. I'm surprised that I can't count, by the way. I've just said third and final substitution for Depot. They've had two.
Here's Arif Mendy. What's he going to do this time with the ball? That's better play.
In the end, it wasn't. It was comfortable for Aranzubia.
Took it on the bench. Zaragoza, a couple of strikers, a young one in Alex Sanchez and Braulio as well. Their options really if Jose Hey decides to change as the main striker.
Ponzio scrapping. Goes to ground. He's picked up the free kick. You're going to get a change. Have you been looking in your crystal ball, Musto?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see who's coming on. It is Braulio. I wonder. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Can you give me 6 numbers for the lottery, please? And Braulio passes on one or two instructions. No problems in the goal scoring for Racing. Colsa and Cisco giving them a 2-0 advantage in the second period. 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes against Tenerife. And chase is on. Ricky's done well, using a bit of body strength to keep possession his way, but
Now, what sometimes can happen with these type of games, and we've seen it so many times, I've been on the losing end as well, is when you're struggling team, you think you're doing better, you're progressing, you look like you're going to win the game, and then you concede and lose. Almost like a losing habit, and that's what they're in at the moment, Zaragoza. They'll be hoping it doesn't happen to them today.
Ball delivered in. Still alive, but chance pushed wide on the right-hand side. Ponzio's giving it away unnecessarily. Danger averted though. Again. Like him.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him play in a more advanced position, Dave, just in behind a forward player, but I like him in this kind of a deeper role. Maybe it's something different the new coach has seen in the player, but he's had a fine game.
It's a long delivery. Lafita gets his head to it. Braulio's in there, but illegally.
I think it's one of those, Braulio, that he takes his eye off the ball, Dave, and just looks to barge into the player. It's always easy for the referee. He notices the striker taking his eye off the ball.
Yeah, just jumping into the player.
Cambio en el Deportivo de La Coruña. Se retira con el número 28, Juan Domínguez. Y entrará en el terreno de juego con el número 8, Sergio.
I'm not sure whether there was an injury to Sergio, but he's normally a starting player in the midfield. He lost his place tonight for whatever reason. Juan Dominguez did okay, got his yellow card, didn't he? So maybe a little concern that something might happen to lose a player. Sergio, very experienced player, back in.
Big money player as well. Sergio cost $22 million from Espanyol. Two Sporting Malaga. Canea with the goal on 69. And it's brought them level. The whistle goes. Pablo Alvarez was hoping for a little more out of the situation. Wasn't to be. Goal kick is what's been given. Foot was raised. It's been penalised. As the rain continues to come down. Jose Hay and Miguel Lortina, I'm sure wondering how the final 10 minutes will pan out. I'm sure we can guess how they hope it will, but
yeah, I think any kind of point. Obviously the 3 points would be huge for them. I think the last time they won was right back at the start of November for Zaragoza. Desperate for a win.
Referee's challenge on Pablo, just upending him. There's somebody who can make a difference out there. And if so, which colour shirt is he wearing? Here's Pennant, tricky customer. And certainly impressed today. Diogo back to the youngster in midfield.
Just got to be careful they're not hit with a sucker punch counter-attack. Again, they're away here, Deport. On the whole, they've defended very well, Zaragoza in this game, up to this point.
Drive comes in. It was a decent effort from Ricky. It had Coruña struggling to get across to the post to make sure it didn't creep in.
He just moves the ball inside, not really closed down very well from the defenders. Here comes the challenge from Ander to maybe put him off a little bit.
Decent work from Braulio. Javier Paredes. Zaragoza and Jose Hay in particular could do with a goal here. Opened his account as first team coach with a 6-0 drubbing at Real Madrid. The club's been trying to negotiate with Victor Munoz to come back to the side. Used to be in charge of, but those talks broke down during the week, leaving Hay in charge. It's a great challenge. Contra just stood his ground.
He did, and he's out of position now. Felipe Luis, it was on that run.
His pennant to Diogo. Oh, quality was needed, and it wasn't there.
Well, it's a shame. He made the run, the full-back. Bad ball at the end of it. He's got to make his way all the way back now into his defensive spot. So there was a break on. Here he goes, overlapping. Textbook run. It wasn't a textbook cross, unfortunately. Lafita was looking to come in at the back post.
I was going to say it's more of my type of cross, but that would be being unkind to me.
Yeah, you would have probably missed the ball totally, Dave.
My right foot was a very decent weapon in my play.
Imagine it being the left foot. Just nudges
it was more
the
like
ball.
what my left foot would have done. Yeah.
Just nudge the ball before the right foot comes in and misses it.
We'll continue this discussion later. Pennant. He's got no options open. He's got the free kick. And there is closest. Zaragoza keen to get on with things quickly. Is this going to be sorted out as it was last time here between these two sides with a last gasp goal? On one occasion it was Ayala, who effectively has been discarded by Zaragoza. Lopez. Just trying to dig it inside, didn't he? Felipe Luis. Okay, Lopez there. Zaragoza not going forward quickly. And has been caught from behind. Pablo Alvarez just catching him with a boot.
Just on the back of his heel, wasn't it? Didn't like that at all.
It could be quite painful when a stud digs in.
Absolutely. And the Achilles tendon on the back of the heel, very painful. And they provide the end product. Can Pennant do something?
He's looking to. Lopez just waited for the ball to come. Chance is still there. And finally shot is arrowed in, but not the pace nor the accuracy.
Comes out to Ander, the youngster. On his left foot, it's nice. Falls nicely for a volley. Doesn't really get the power on it.
Rodriguez. Can Deport steal it? Almost. The shot came in from Guardado. Coruña saw it though.
Oh, luckily for the goalkeeper, it's right to him because he makes fantastic contact. He pulls out from the edge of the box, left foot volley. Luckily for the goalkeeper and for Zaragoza, it's straight down his throat. Carrizo. A comfortable save in the end. Anywhere either side, I'm sure that would have been the all-important goal.
Pennant and just crossing their wires in midfield. Lafita tries to have a go himself. He didn't get enough behind it either.
Just when you look at Lafita plays, he's the one player really that looks like he's got a bit of quality, a little bit about him. I like to see him play as a striker, Dave. Come inside, be more involved centrally. He can be the player then, can make the difference, put the ball away. He's on this left-hand side.
And here's Pennant, who's been a little livelier in the last 15 minutes. They've done a whole lot better with that. Into the final 3 minutes. There will be time to be added on. There is going to be a change. Babic, she's going to get a run out for the final few moments.
Oh, he's there again. Felipe Luis, typical Brazilian fullback fashion. He's kept bombing forward all the way through this game into the 88th minute. His team are hanging on a little bit. They still get forward.
What is it about coaches not wanting to make changes at substitutions?
At set pieces?
At corners, I should say.
Like, there's a player going off. A player coming on might not pick up the right man. There's something different.
Okay, thank you for the education. Here's Andres Guardado with the corner. It's a comfortable one for the referee to call. Rodriguez into the back of Diogo. And maybe Marko Babic, the 28-year-old Croatian, can come in.
Cambio en el Real Zaragoza, se retira con el número 3, Javi Paredes. Y entrará en el terreno de juego con el número 20, Marko Babic.
It's an interesting one because Paredes is certainly a fullback. Babic more of a midfielder.
Oh, he is, but maybe the idea is that he can play in the left-back position for now and get forward and almost play like a left-sided midfield player.
He's on the ball. A bit more physical, isn't he? You could see there with the run with a handoff.
Oh, he's certainly going to be more attack-minded, isn't he, than Paredes?
Masquero, 7 minutes from time, has given Getafe the lead. Ortiz for Almeria against Jerez. Zaganda was desperate to get something out of that game for Jerez. Not going to be the case. Are we going to get a 0-0 finally with these two teams? And Rodriguez. We'll find Ricky.
It doesn't look like Deportivo are going to score a goal. I think Ricky's come on and done okay. He's been bright, he's been lively, but on the whole, it's been Zaragoza who have picked up things in the second half. They've had a couple more chances. Thinking back to the pennant one where he was through, and Lafita when he dragged his volley wide.
Rodriguez just basically on the back of Babic. The rain continues to come down. It has throughout this game. Is there going to be a more satisfying finish as far as the home side's concerned? Here's Pennant.
Disappointing for me, Jermaine Pennant. Had a couple of chances, got in behind a couple of times, but his general play has been a bit hesitant. Doesn't look like he's playing with full confidence at the moment. Hasn't managed to score a goal this season for them, in the league anyway.
I've seen him a few times this season, and I've thought exactly the same on each game.
I'm surprised as well, because he was at times he was a real threat in the Premier League in England, and it was always interesting for me to see how he got on in Spain, how the defenders can react to him. I think in general, Felipe Luis, the left-back, has done a very good job against Jermaine Pennant. Great composure again, sorry for Mander there, wasn't it?
I was just going to say, using his body as a shield and always in control of the ball.
He knows what's behind him, he's got his arms out there to make sure the player doesn't get round the outside of him.
That's the question, what have I done? There's the answer.
It's another set piece though, Dave, isn't it? Another chance to launch it into the box. Ponzio it is, the captain, needs good delivery.
He's lifted high. And that's good goalkeeping. Adam Zubia coming out 16 yards together. 3 minutes are going to be added. That's where we're at now. Maybe the last chance. It certainly was. It's finished 0-0. Plenty of draws between these two teams over the past 5 or 6 years, but never this scoreline. Well, that's been broken. You haven't been able to separate either side. I suppose from Zaragoza's perspective, the point is welcome return against a side who would have been looking to climb up to joint 4th place.
I think so, Dave. I think when you consider what's happened to them, what's happened to the football club, both on and off the pitch, that's a decent point. I talked at the start about them grinding out results, grinding out points. This is a very good point for them. I think the club will take encouragement from the performance. Much better at the back. They've conceded so many goals of late, and I thought in the second half they really started to open up a little bit. Pennant got more involved, Lafita got more involved. Unfortunately for them though, couldn't get the breakthrough goal, but it's still an important point for them.
Well, 0-0 it has finished. And to be fair, there were no real clear-cut scoring opportunities other than those that fell to Alberto Lopo, the central defender. Goalless, point apiece. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back shortly to wrap it all up here on ESPN.